Firefighters across Australia are making the most of a brief reprieve in conditions. Temperatures in New South Wales and Victoria are expected to drop below the 30s and winds are forecast to ease from today. At least 100 homes have been lost across New South Wales since Friday. RFS Deputy Commissioner warns the threat isn't over for the Blue Mountains. The focus will be on strengthening containment lines ahead of the next period of bad weather, which comes next week. Prime Minister Scott Morrison has been touring fire-ravaged parts of the state since returning from a contentious holiday to Hawaii. But he's refusing to bring forward a March COAG meeting to address the funding and strategy for dealing with bushfires. Stella Todorovic has more.
Communities in the Blue Mountains remain on high alert despite cooler conditions. Fires tore through Blackheath and Mount Victoria across the weekend. The Grose Valley blaze again elevated to an emergency warning on Sunday night.
Firefighters were able to literally ward off houses burning within metres. So the fire front at Blackheath in particular reached very close behind houses, and we just saw today literally it was metres between rows of houses in what we regard as suburbia going up, and thanks to the efforts of the firefighters that didn't occur.
New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian visited some of the worst affected areas on Monday morning, but not everyone was happy to see her.
She's come back 2 days too late. There should have been a state of emergency declared much earlier. The government have done everything they can to separate themselves from climate change, drought and bushfires. The Prime Minister hasn't even been here for half of it.
Residents in Blackheath have been watching the mega blaze at Gosford's mountain edge closer to their village for weeks. On Sunday morning, the flames entered their backyards.
We haven't had a fire through here for ages, so there's lots and lots of fuel. So it just went up so quickly.
The Rural Fire Service has confirmed at least 100 homes have been destroyed since Friday. That number is almost certain to rise as impact assessment teams continue to count the cost across the fire grounds. Easing conditions have given the thousands of firefighters an opportunity to get on the front foot. Here in Katoomba, crews will be focusing on conducting backburns and strengthening containment lines.
There's a lot of work that's needing to be done over the next few days and into probably a week or so more to try and get containment on that. Luckily, as the Premier said, there's a good hazard reduction in that area that we're going to try and tie that fire into, and there's good confidence that that will help us contain that fire.
More hot, dry and windy weather is forecast next week.
But I've made it very well known, and not just with all due respect, not just to the RFS, but to all of our emergency services personnel, the professional bodies, the professional workers, as well as the volunteers, that do what you need to do to protect life, protect property. We're well resourced, you're well supported, and we'll ask questions later.
A state of emergency will remain in place until Christmas Day. Stella Todorovic, Sky News in Katoomba.